Hello, welcome to Clutch My Pearls, the podcast where I, Emily, learn all about the spicy books that my friends are reading. As always, I'm joined with Vanessa and Barbara.
Hi.
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 You do the hi and you go, ooh. You move back. Oh, I'm here.
As always, you can follow us at Clutch My Pearls Pod everywhere on the internet. And we have our Patreon, patreon.com/Clutch My Pearls Pod. And we were just talking before this, and we were like, wait, save it for the episode. That I was going over which shows also like how we are right up against our deadline with like
just exposed.
Talking about the
Three
episode.
women with ADHD. Of course, we're at the last minute.
It's ADHD Book Club. Hello. And so our Patreon members, patrons,
Thesaurus.
They get the episode a day early. And so I was just looking over the comments that came out, the episode came out like 8 hours ago. And so I'm already looking at the comments. And for milking the Minotaur.
Morning Glory Milking Farm. Yes.
Morning Glory Milking Farm, Minotaur's milking.
People they're so excited.
And our first comment that I want to bring up is from Amber. Hello, hi, D&D girl here.
No.
For pronouncing tieflings, think teeth with a lisp. So
Thesaurus.
Tiefling?
So I think it's like a
Tiefling.
You get it right at the end. So tiefling.
Yeah, I just mumble over words that I don't know how to pronounce. There's one in the synopsis that I'm not totally sure about. I was going to ask Eric this morning, and then I forgot. So we'll see how that goes.
I just don't say them on the show.
I might take that approach.
Excluded.
It's hard when it's a character's name, which also kind of applies for today. All right.
And then the other comment I needed to bring up, because it's a question for Vanessa from Jesse. Question for Vanessa. Was there ever any details of sanitation or PPE at this medical facility? What Emily read sounded like Violet used her bare hands. You stated that they had scrubs after Violet got covered and had to change. Did they not have a full body outfit? I'm questioning the legitimacy of this operation. You'd think there'd be a face shield at least.
I really don't like the quotations around medical facility.
I do. I think I stand by what this person's saying. If you're a medical facility, at least have the safety goggles.
Oh, right.
So she wears scrubs. I'm gonna look into the camera. She wears scrubs. She wears a mask, and she is gloved up for the jerk offs. But there is like sanitation.
I just pictured she's gloved up, and then I'm like, okay, rubber gloves. She's probably got a big old bottle of lube with a pump head like you guys have for the shampoo and conditioner in the back.
Yes.
Yet again, just picturing that book anytime I'm at the salon now.
Yes.
Just this big old squirt.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so it is definitely
A legitimate facility.
Yeah, they look like they're scrub nurses for like surgeries,
But
basically.
horny. Okay, so sorry, they're professionals. This book came out in 2021.
Dude, we are a 2021 podcast.
Yeah, it's fucking happening. Remember when we went on a run? We did everything in New York. Now we're everything 2021.
We're in our 2021 come era.
I like how Barbara said on the last episode, she was like, 2021, there's just something in the air.
There's something in the air.
I was like,
COVID.
yeah, COVID.
Oh, right, COVID, yeah.
Which leads me into this protective mask she has. Is this an N95? Is this up to standard?
They don't really say.
I feel like it'd be more face shield.
This
travel
is
and come?
Body fluids.
Well, it's all done now, so who cares, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Only out of your nose and your mouth, right?
Oh my
I
God.
don't know. Get Fauci on the line. I don't know.
Cool.
Anyways.
Hey man, when you
Can
milk
you get
minotaurs,
COVID
are you
from a
worried about that?
blowjob?
Yeah.
It's a minotaur. Does that affect the answer?
What if he's wearing a face mask and you're giving him a blowjob and he has COVID?
What if COVID started with the minotaurs and not the bats?
Those fuckers.
Oh my God.
The moth, highly suspicious.
Oh, yeah.
Bird flu. There it is.
That's the new one. Yeah.
Find out for the next book.
We also have a very exciting announcement that, again, as we're up against the deadline, I am sure that it will be set up by then.
Probably not.
Risk and all.
I'm going to work really hard. Vanessa, do you want to show one of our new little things?
We have merch.
Oh, it's so cute. So we're doing an initial
Show the inside.
Oh,
little.
it's pink.
It's so cute.
It's got my lipstick on it
Busy
already.
businesswoman mugs, and we're gonna have a tote and shirts and hats and all that stuff. So we're calling this like our busy businesswoman launch, as well as like some basic stuff. We're keeping it pretty small while we figure it out, gauge the interest, see if it's something that you guys want, see as we kind of figure things out. As our first little go into it. So all of your support is always appreciated. And we just want to have everyone repping their Clutch My Pearls and Busy Businesswoman merch. And we'll do other stuff down the line of.
Yeah, we have a ton of ideas.
Yeah.
But
There
we're
were
trying...
a ton of ideas on Patreon,
Yeah,
too.
I'm loving it. And it's lining up with a lot of what we've been talking about, too. But we're just launching this so that we can see, like, does it work? Did you received your items? Great.
Yeah,
That's cool.
right, yeah.
All right, let's try some more things.
Do we trust this? Okay, yeah. Like,
Okay.
again, this is how we're new at it, and as we're gauging things, and eventually others. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see if y'all even want it. If we sell 2 things, and we'll go, okay, never mind. Just kidding.
Well, we'll
But we
sell
won't.
4 at least.
Oh yeah.
One,
1, 2,
2,
3. Bernie.
Diane.
Bernie, yeah. Oh,
Bernie.
Diane.
Hi, Diane. But this week we have a Barbara book.
Mm-hmm.
What you got for us?
I'm scared.
I'm excited.
What do you think it is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, every time I say it's going to be a palate cleanser, it's something that's not.
I mean, your palate gets cleansed.
That was
That's
something
true.
I saw a Patreon comment on. I think it was the aesthetic video.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody was like, I'm going to need a palate cleanser after this one. And I was like, you're going to need a lot of cleansing after this one.
After this one? After the last one or
The
yours?
milking
Oh,
part,
the
yeah.
milking. Okay.
Yeah. No.
She did use cleansing wipes
She's PPE.
after
Nice.
she was done.
Oh. Great.
Did she cleanse them or did she tell them to clean themselves up?
No, they never really show like a lot of her like jerking off other people. It's
Right.
mostly just Rourke.
She's like, I'll clean you up.
So I think she does extra cleaning for him.
Oh, yeah. He
Yeah.
gets
Takes
A
the
little,
glove off.
Like a wipe down and like a tug. Like
a
a
kiss?
pat at the end. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm picturing in like sports when they go,
Yeah, like pat him on the butt.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably.
But on
Oh, and his little tail swings because he's
the
happy.
orange balls.
Yeah. Oh, no. No. Yeah, I remember that. I had to consult HR, which doesn't exist since you were asking me about getting a bag of oranges in my head or whatever the fuck you were. Ma'am.
Yeah, madam.
Stop it. Never eating an orange again. So, yeah, you think that's what the book's about?
Oranges?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's called Velvet.
Velvet.
Any ideas?
I'm just thinking like the ears.
I
Like
was
dog ears.
thinking like
Why?
I went to like
Why?
a Nora Roberts era like type book.
Love it. The dog dick obsession has passed over.
Well, because the Minotaur, he had like soft ears and they felt like velvet.
Okay.
I'm
I
still
wonder
there.
if they kind of like, like sometimes like
No.
they'll like kind of
no,
shake when
no,
they do.
No, just like wiggle when he's
Yeah.
excited. Oh,
Like kind of
Christ.
bat
air-
fly away.
airplane
no.
mode when he's
Oh,
upset.
No.
Velvet.
Yeah, we were talking in the episode last night, which was our bonus episode for our patrons. You had dog nails, so now we've
Oh,
just
yeah.
been talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
dogs
my dog claws
all the time.
Dog
Yeah.
claws.
Oh my god,
That's for
Okay.
our like our sleepover patrons that
Yeah,
they know
our
about
lock-in.
dog claws.
Or lock-in, yeah.
special episode.
We were all over the fucking place with that too.
We
so,
really were.
That's
I
how
felt
you
like
know.
it was my fault.
No,
Well, I mean, definitely, yeah, you guys are unhinged, but I think the magicians and
It was-
the
it was-
cult
it was fun.
You just see
and-
how it's like how you are
Piercings.
with reverse harems of where you're like, it's me with fantasy of where just like short circuit.
and you just go, "What is happening?" Guess what genre today's is?
fantasy.
Is it fantasy? Oh,
Yes, fantasy.
Overload.
But we're doing fantasy with horses and swords.
I
like
was wondering.
fantasy.
Okay.
I did
Yeah.
think Black Velvet, but then I went into like, no, that's like Black Stallion. Those are the connections in my head.
What's the horse one? Black.
Isn't it Black Stallion?
Black Beauty.
There
Black
it is.
Beauty. Okay, and then
I
that's
keep
what I was
thinking-
actually thinking
so
of
you-
was Black Beauty.
Those are Black Beauty fanfic.
I don't
Is
know.
it-
I don't need to know.
Come
I
on,
keep thinking
Barbara, you
Black
know.
Whisper. Maybe that's a fanfic.
Do they ride horses or is it
Horses
in
are
love?
around. You know how when we talk about your fantasy, you're like, oh yeah, they have cell phones. They have
Okay.
horses.
So it's Game of Thrones.
It's not a pivotal plot point.
Is that Game of Thrones times? Olden times?
Yeah. It's actually the same universe. No.
Just lying.
I just shook my head at the camera. No, I don't.
So, but okay,
Nothing is real. You can make up anything you want.
it's fantasy.
It's
Oh,
called
no.
Velvet. What do you think? What do you think it's about?
Velvet.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Well, I don't know because I mean, there's a lot. Is he describing her punani as velvet?
Oh my God.
Does she wear velvet?
Oh my
Is
God.
her
curtains?
name Velvet?
Ooh,
267 pages.
Oh,
Guess what year it came out?
2021.
What is happening? The best books were written in 2021. We can't deny it.
Do we want synopsis?
Of course.
Yes, give it to us.
Give it to us.
Give
Okay.
it.
A good princess
Oh.
does not seduce her enemies, but a desperate princess might.
Oh, I love it.
Princess Lettuce.
From last night.
We couldn't keep track of any of the actual characters' names, so we just kept calling them all like Mayor McCheese,
Prince
Merlin
Pickles?
McCheese. Yeah, and then I kept calling everyone Glenn Powell.
Yeah.
And you got upset that I was casting him wrong, but I have never cast him wrong in my life, Emily. So.
You were casting him as the main character.
No, I wasn't. I was casting that as his demon name that was written in Latin. or whatever the fuck. The name that no one should speak or know.
Patreon.
See where I'm going with this?
Sorry.
Okay, a princess, something or other. Okay. With her small kingdom teetering on the brink of war, Crown Princess Viviette hatches a dangerous plan. Seduce the enemy diplomats threatening the peaks. That's like the place where she lives.
Her tits.
What'd you say?
What?
Her
The
tits.
teats?
Her peaks?
Her peaks are her tits.
The teats, yeah.
Yeah.
And uncover their sinister schemes. An excellent strategy until she is caught red-handed by her father's loyal spymaster.
Ooh,
He's mean.
Spymaster. Is that who she seduces? No.
I'm just shrugging at you like I don't know or I can't say. Okay, Jaghar. I don't know how to say his name, but it's Jaghar. I think I nailed it.
Jaghar, yeah.
Jaghar.
J-A, what, how do you spell it again?
Jaghar.
Jaeger? Like the booze?
Jägermeister is a mystery.
It creates a lot of mysteries, yeah.
He is a mystery, as is his name. He's a menace, a cold and bitter man she's despised all her life. But rather than betraying her to the king, her father, he offers her a bargain. In
Daddy.
return, what'd you say?
Her daddy.
In return for his discretion, she can join his army of masked spies who use pleasure and seduction to expose their enemies' secrets.
Oh.
I skipped the word I don't know how to say.
What was the word? I saw you pause for a moment and you
Yeah.
said army.
Do you want me to spell it? I could say clandestine?
Clandestine?
Clandestine? I don't know where to
Clandestine?
emphasize. I don't know if it's een or ein. I don't.
Clandestine. I've heard that word before.
Yeah.
Join
Oh.
his secretive army.
His loyal secretive clan of an army.
Menacing
Alois.
Jägermeister. Alois, yeah. His army of Aloises. Armed with nothing but cunning and resolve, Viviette delves into his shockingly seductive world of dark desires and intrigue. But the more she learns about the scarred, silver-haired spymaster at the heart of the conflict, the less she can deny the forbidden fire flaring between them.
Ooh.
Caught in a tangled web of passion and conspiracies, will their fragile alliance shatter under the weight of their secrets, or will it be the key to their salvation?
Wait, so is she with the leader of the other army or the dad's buddy?
Spymaster?
Spymaster.
Yeah, she's with his pal.
The
Spymaster.
Spymaster.
His buddy, his bro.
The like gray-haired Spymaster?
His bowling partner.
Silver.
Silver-haired blonde man. So he is older, but
This is giving me like Throne of Glass
is it?
vibes.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I'm
you
like,
don't know.
I don't know.
I was thinking, I mean, now I'm in Game of Thrones world, so I'm thinking that Littlefinger guy. Sorry.
Veto.
Sorry.
Veto that hard
But
pass.
if they're fucking,
No,
then we gotta
he-
make him cute.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so what about like Jaime Lannister?
That could work.
Because he's blonde and he gets older,
Yeah.
but he has both of his hands still.
That could work.
Okay.
He wears black a lot, and for
Ooh.
some reason, when I was reading it, I couldn't stop picturing.
Princess Bride?
Yes, yes,
Oh my
When she
god.
said he wears black, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
yes, and he's blonde, so I was like, okay.
What is that guy's name? It's like a
Carol, clandestine.
No, it's a Carrie something.
Elwyn, Carrie, Elwyn. He's British.
Carrie
Wood.
Yep. Some people.
He's in the first Saw movie, which is very
Yeah, he
weird.
is.
Yeah.
He's like the main guy. Yeah.
Those movies are not okay.
Carrie Elwes.
Carrie Underwood.
Jesus, take the wheel.
We got our song in. All right, 2021. We got it all.
Carrie Elwes. Elwes.
That's what I
Yeah,
said.
That's totally what we said.
Wesley was his name in the movie.
Wesley, that's right. What does she look like? What's her name?
Her name is Viviette.
Viviette. Princess Viviette. I love it.
Princess Viviette. She is 19.
Okay.
She has dark hair, pale skin, and green eyes. So I was thinking...
She's looking like you.
Nope. I was picturing... what's her name? Margaret Qualley, who's married to... Yeah.
She's Andie MacDowell's daughter.
Is that
who we cast
last
week?
Okay, I love it. Because the other one I was thinking was Megan Fox.
That works too.
Yeah. I don't know if she has green eyes, but it doesn't really matter.
Contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Olivia Colman.
You love her.
I really do. Have you seen her Oscar speech? She's insane. It's my favorite.
She's the best.
I love crazy people.
So why is it called Velvet though? I mean, again, I think it's that he's like, maybe they fuck in like velvet sheets or something.
Ooh. Well, his prostitutes, his secret spies who go have sex with people and then come back to him and go like, here's all the secrets I learned while they were finger blasting me or whatever. They all wear masks.
Velvet mask.
So he picks a mask for her that's like red and it covers her eyes and her nose, and then it has like a little like lace veil over her mouth.
Oh, who's that singer that always has that? Orville,
the country singer.
Orville
Redenbacher?
Yes. Yes. Orville Peck.
Yeah.
Who?
He always has these masks with like tassels in the front.
Why?
Fringe.
I don't know.
I just said that real. I'm yucking his yum. Why does he do
mysterious.
this? Okay. And he's a country singer?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
That's the book.
There we go. So
what are the people at Goodreads saying?
So what does so
Guess First Coming. 267 pages, but my Kindle has it as like 250.
85.
40.
98.
Wow.
Really get into it. There's other like sex stuff that sort of happens, but it's somewhat fade to black.
Okay.
And then he gets real hard at one point and then like does some stuff about it, but you don't really like, she doesn't write the whole scene.
Has she always found him attractive?
No, because he's nearer, like he's known her since she was a child.
So he's like her dad's age.
Like an uncle.
Like her dad's friend.
She's seducing his bowling partner, essentially.
Oh.
in the fantasy of this, is
bowling.
Is there anything other than it being like medieval times? Or is
Sort
there
of.
like, are there dragons and shit?
There are dragons.
Okay.
And they reference witches, but it's not like a race of people that aren't humans. It's like
burn her at the
powerful
stake.
women who are like doing shit. Like it's not.
It's Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah, where it's
witch.
like, oh, you're a witch, but it's not like Game of Thrones where it's like the Lady in Red, where it's like, whoa, like demon smoke baby. Like it's just like they're powerful. I don't really know.
Like a sorcerer.
Yeah.
Like she can kind of do stuff.
Merlin McCheese or whatever.
Yeah. Are there any like tech advances in this book, or is it Game of Thrones?
No cell
I'm just in that
phones.
world.
It's like
not
chamber
cell phone
pot situations, or they have like a little room for it or something. They never really go into detail with that. But
No
like,
iPads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do they like?
How does this happen?
Yeah.
How are you feeling so far about a princess who's like, I'm going to be a spying prostitute?
I think that she's like trying to rebel in her ways.
Sure. Yeah.
And does she want to take down her dad? Like, does she hate her dad?
No, she's a really good relationship with her father, but
So why is she doing this?
Yeah, what is the turmoil?
So the peaks or the teats or whatever
Oh, right.
we decided. Yeah, it's they live like up in the cold like mountain ranges.
Frozen.
So like frozen tundra. Yes. They are right in between two other kingdoms who are like about to go to war. And one of them is like, we need, let my army pass through your kingdom. And the other one is like, if you let them pass, we'll attack you. So they're juggling these enemies. And then like, it's called like the 5 kingdoms.
Okay.
And then there's also an empire. So it's like the empire wants to be, it's a series.
Okay.
So
Okay.
this book sets up a lot of stuff that we get to later. So I don't want to go totally into like a lot of what happens near the end, because it sets up another series as well as this whole series. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
What's the series called?
The Princess and the Spy.
For real?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
The Princess and the Pea.
Here's a question. Do you think I like this book?
I don't know.
I think you kind of do. I think it's easy. It's whatever. It's gentle.
Sure. Let's see how, if we keep with that.
Is it more plot than porn? I get a feeling of like a
No.
Nora Roberts level, like you said, fade to black.
The phone's ringing. Nora Roberts is calling us.
Oh, no.
It's fine. Let it ring.
Why'd you turn it off?
Sorry about the phone.
The phone rang, and then we had a little session to interrupt it and talk about clients for a little while.
I can tell you the backstory of all my clients.
Barbara was very brave, you said, and was rescheduling some people off your schedule because one thing about me, I'm very brave.
She was very brave.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Anyways, back.
How do I feel about the book? I don't like it.
You don't?
Oh.
I was wondering if you, yeah.
Is this an old book that you've read or a new book?
An older book that I read, and I refreshed for this. It's not well done.
So it's one of those things where it's like anybody can get published.
It's one of those things where this is the first one that she ever published.
Okay.
And she did the series, and then she did a sort of a spin-off series that I was talking about. And then she wrote a series that I really like.
Oh.
Okay, what's the series?
The Fae Isles.
What's the author's name?
Lisette Marshall.
We never said it.
I never said that.
No.
Whoops. Again, I'm going to be
Just
all over
the
the place
year.
today. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
There's no New York. All right, checklist.
I mean, it could be New York.
Could
It's
be.
not Christmas because the Rockettes aren't there.
Fuck.
They don't exist in this universe.
Nope.
So Christmas doesn't exist. So you like the other series that
I like
Lisette wrote?
the other series. The first one is like a Court of Blood and Bindings, I think, and I just think it was really well done. It's an interesting magic system, and I like it.
Okay.
This one, not well done.
Did you read the rest of the books in this series?
Yes. Do I remember them?
No.
Not a good sign. If I don't remember it, I didn't like it enough to really pay attention.
Yeah.
Right. It was enough that you were like, I'm not gonna DNF this, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like when you hate watch a series where you're like, I gotta know what happens.
You gotta know what happens. It's like when you're, at home during the summer and you're like 13 and a movie comes on and you're halfway through and you're like, there's nothing really else on the other channels that I want to watch, so fuck it, I'll do this. That's how it feels.
Yeah. Yeah, that's me most nights now, even at 30 something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I picked this one because fantasy.
Yeah.
Because it's like old timey horses fantasy, which you love.
Oh, for sure. I
You got
love
your
it.
favorite.
I love it. I definitely don't think about like, did they stink?
Probably.
Yeah. Like there's no way.
They
There's
have
no
like
proper
lavender
grooming.
oil and they wash things.
Ugh.
No cleansing wipes. Sorry, Vanessa.
No PPE.
Not up to standard.
All right. So
Mm-hmm.
back to our story.
Yes.
So what is the purpose of the spies? What are they trying to do? Who are they trying to take down?
The
So-
other worlds.
Jaghar is
Jaghar?
Jaegermeister is the Jaghar. He is the Spymaster. So his whole thing is he's protecting the king.
Okay.
So he works for the royal family, for the kingdom, whatever. There's a lot of references to him being like taken off the streets when he was a child. Like he had like a really hard, rough upbringing. Speaking of which, there's a trigger warning. Check it out if there's something that happens in his childhood that might be a lot to read about. Anyway, he is like taken off the streets and then like he works his way up to like being trusted with the king. They go bowling or whatever the fuck. They don't. But anyway,
Medieval
Jousting.
bowling. Oh, jousting.
jousting. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, now I want to watch Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Okay.
I wanted to Renfest. Oh my God, I forgot this. I was gonna say I saved it for the episode and I just remembered.
Oh, shit.
Triggered. So
Triggered.
in last
Trigger warning.
Oh my gosh. So in last episode,
Yeah.
I talked about the centaur
Yeah.
that would be at the Renfest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I looked him up because I was looking for a photo for the aesthetic video.
Mm-hmm.
He unfortunately is no longer with us.
Oh.
He passed away in 2020. I think he had I looked at I of course went down the rabbit hole. He had a stroke,
thought you were gonna say
and he was such a
2021.
an icon of the Renfest. So
I
you know,
like that.
R.I.P. Centaur.
This one's dedicated to him, or maybe the last one.
Yeah.
Who can say?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to bring it up. Memory.
Aww.
I'm gonna cry.
I know.
Okay.
Rip.
We're gonna persevere in his honor.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Anyways, back to our story.
You did get a picture of him for the aesthetic video, right?
I did.
I think
did.
I saw that.
I did. I did. He looked a little different than I did when I was a kid, but yeah, he was because he'd been doing it for like years. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
he did. It was like a staple of it. So, anyways,
He's a spy. And then somewhere around 7 years ago, he sort of started this, like when a lot of visiting like noble people would come and stay at the court, because back then it was always like, okay, I'm going on a trip, and it's like 4 months.
Yeah.
Like you never were just like, I'm gonna go run an errand. It's
No.
like you had to pack up your entire fucking life, everyone you knew, and then be like, I'll see you maybe.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
So-
picturing like Monty Python.
Great.
Like
Love
the
where your
like
head's at.
clomping of the.
This is
shoes.
why I'm excited to do the fantasy with you, because you're just
Did
gonna
you
get weird
just
with it.
do a horse?
Yeah, but
clomping?
in Monty Python
They
they
just
have the
hold- they just
coconut, so there's not a real horse. They just
No,
like
I know, but you're doing your nails.
Yes, I'm doing like the Dolly Parton version of like the beginning of 9 to 5.
Oh my god.
I love it. This is why I wanted to bring this book for the first like old timey fantasy, because I knew you would go places with it,
Of course you will.
and I didn't want it to be a book that I felt strongly about, because I feel like because I feel like the episodes where I really love a book, I'm not as interesting. I get very like, be quiet, I'm gonna tell you about the book.
I loved how mad you got in the love hypothesis.
I wasn't that mad.
When Emily was.
I did say fuck you, but like in a loving way.
It's fine.
She was doing the Will Arnett voice for.
God,
For
yeah.
Adam.
Sorry.
It's Adam Driver. Don't.
I know. We love his little hands.
Little
Big
hands. Little Adam. Anyway, Jaghar.
Jaeger.
He's
People
a
come visit.
spy. He set this up 7 years ago. When people come to visit and they're like, "Hey, my wife's back in wherever the hell, New York. I want to bang someone," and he's like, "I might know some people." And then he gets those people to go do that, and then come back to him and be like, "Here's everything they said." And so
Hell
it's
yeah.
this whole system they have.
Tale as old as time.
There you go. Yes.
Does the king know that his daughter is pimping out?
No idea. The king's relationship with the daughter is that he sees her, is very like pat you on the head and send you back to your room to play with your dresses. Like
Okay.
he thinks she's a lot younger than she is, although
Right.
she is 19. And he's like, don't you worry your pretty little head about the war that might be coming. And it's his only child, so she's going to inherit the throne only if she's married. So that's another plot point, is that he has a brother. So her uncle would get the throne if she's unmarried when her father dies. And so Jaeger is always like, you're going to have to marry someone. It's a whole thing in the books.
But she can't marry him.
He's
right?
just some spy master from the streets. You
But
know, it's kind of
she's-
Aladdin situation where it's like, this kid.
Didn't want to say it earlier. Because then you were like, there's a trigger warning, but I was like, ooh, Aladdin. And I was like,
Someone to take
street
his
rat.
bread. I feel like every boy, that was their favorite Disney movie.
Because he was like, just like,
It was-
cool.
Yeah.
jumping around. And
Yeah.
it always makes me want bread.
Oh, yeah. They made bread look good.
Oh,
Because he would
it's
like get it. Like
good.
him and
Break
Abu,
it apart.
Yeah.
I think also too that was kind of the first time that there was like a boy main character other than Peter Pan.
Yeah, Eric hates that he's named after the Prince Eric, because that man is just...
Was that how they got the name?
No, that would be so fucking funny.
They named him after Ariel.
That was
I take it back. Yes, everyone spread that. Correct.
That felt like, again, for our patrons, the same sort of like yesterday when I asked Vanessa, repeat that word again,
What was that?
was also in the same category as when you revealed to us that you had adult braces. Where I go, say that again.
Yeah. Stop everything.
But you know what? It's fun. We can all live in our own truths.
Yeah, and
Eric
that truth
was
is
named
that
after Prince
his
Eric.
parents.
That's a lie we tell now.
Yeah. Oh, did
And
I think
I-
of Ariel? Oh, but you're
Yes,
bad
I
Ariel
always
with brown hair.
You gotta dye my hair red.
Vanessa.
You're Vanessa, the bad when
Ooh.
Ursula becomes.
No, but I'm good,
But you're good. You are good.
except when I'm bad. Okay, behave. So that's the book.
So he's Aladdin. Okay.
He's Aladdin. Yeah. So he can't really marry her, but like, don't worry about it. And
Is he's really a prince?
no,
Oh.
no.
That was
he's-
what I kept hoping with Reese in Twisted.
the bodyguard with the bathing suit that you loved.
Oh
yeah, I kept,
Yeah,
and
what
he
was his
did
name?
end up being royal or something at the end. I
Ooh.
couldn't remember.
Did he?
Yes.
19th cousin
Was that
once
Twisted
removed.
Games?
Yes.
So that Anna,
Huang.
Huang.
I see that book and the like series
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah,
Um,
she's really popular.
Yeah, that I didn't because I don't remember anything. I need stuff where you're like, it's a hot bodyguard with bathing suit. I'm like, yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep,
what's up.
yep.
Yeah.
It's Mary McCheese.
Hello, Prince Pickles. But that is one that I'm always slipping our card into.
Yeah, you love that one.
Slip it in.
I do.
Mm.
Now
And
that I
then
know
whip
that's
it
one I
out.
really like. Okay.
So there's a war coming, and her
Yes.
dad is like, literally, don't worry about it. And she's like, it seems kind of relevant, because if you die, then I'm in charge potentially. And I am not like other girls. The book opens with her having come back. She spent 3 years in a foreign court out by the coast because she needed to learn like etiquette school or some shit.
Oh,
Like, your
princess school.
education, go
Embroidery.
socialize with the rest of the kingdom. Yeah. And she's like, those girls are literally so boring. All they talk about is embroidery and like, this person wore this color, even though like, she's just like, they're so boring. They don't know anything. They don't want any sense of adventure. They would never become a prostitute.
She's like skipping out to go ride horses and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
So is it that she comes back and she's 19
she comes back. She's 19. She's like, Dad, what's going on with this war? And he's like, I'll have Jaghar come chat with us about like what's going on in the context of like security measures. You're going to be followed everywhere you go with a bodyguard if you're outside of your bedroom. And she's like, that's kind of a bummer. And then Jaghar is explaining that the two kingdoms who are like about to go to war, they have representatives who are staying at the court with all of them right now because they're trying to argue with the king. And she's like, why are they here? And he's like, well, this one, if we didn't let them come and chat with us, then they would just go to war with us. And the other one, if we only let that one come in. So now we're all at court and it's very dangerous. So go back to bed.
When she comes back and she goes from 16 to 19, is that when Jaeger's like, she's a woman now?
Not at first. He thinks like she's just going to ask me a bunch of incessant questions as always. She's so curious. She's always asking me questions. And his whole thing is that he is like a wall of like every emotion is a weakness. He shows no vulnerability. And she's like, I have never seen him smile.
Is he the bodyguard?
Not the one following her around.
Okay.
He has like a team. He's like the head spymaster.
Yeah.
In charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's the general manager of the spies.
And her dad is a CEO.
Yes.
So
did she go to like a training camp?
Well, she went to girls' school.
Is this just fucking?
This is just an excuse for her to be a prostitute.
Okay, so there's no like she's not like learning to fight. It's just purely seduction.
No, like, and now I learned to climb a wall. And
did
like,
she go to seduction school?
Oh.
Does he show her how to do it?
Okay, so
is she a virgin?
Yes.
Does he? Wait, okay.
She's never even kissed anyone. And she's like, prostitute, you got it. Let's do this.
Adventure.
Does she fuck him first?
Yep.
And okay, that's a jump.
Here's how it all sets up. She's at court, and then her father and Jaghar are like, your role is to don't get into any serious discussions, be vapid and pretty. And she's like, I love it. And so they like one of her first nights back, one of the kingdoms, their representative, his name is like Mono? I don't know. He is like
Mono. He's sick.
Mono, yes. Yeah.
Mononucleosis.
There you go. Yep.
Spell it.
Thesaurus, where is it? So obviously he is did you catch that?
What?
That was for you.
You know what? And I saw someone else on Patreon say something like, this was a really great episode, guys. Obviously.
Like, oh yeah. I said, oh, they love us.
Obviously. Look, you're in the lexicon now. She's crossing her arms, all upset.
Continue.
I'm gonna go be a prostitute.
I love it. You can't tell me what
virgin.
to do. You're not my dad.
So did she pull him aside and be like, hey, I want to help out?
So
Show me what to do.
I want to take one for the team.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy who's like a representative of the other kingdom who's about to go to war, he's at this party and he's like older, around the same age as like her dad, and
he bowls.
He bowls. He is like real charming, and then he's like chatting with her, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, you're so what? Like she's just real dumb." And then he's like, "Do you want to go for a walk in the gardens?" And she's like, "Yes." So they go for a walk in the gardens, and then he's like, "Oh, it's so nice being alone with you," and starts untying her corset, and she's just like, "I'm gonna get information from this guy because he's here talking about how like." Oh,
she's
yeah.
Like, so what are you going to do next?
Is she a virgin at this point?
Yes.
Still hasn't kissed. Okay.
Still has not even kissed. Okay. And he takes her corset off and starts.
She dumps him out.
She dumps him out. Yeah. He dumps him out, and she's just like, "Oh, but what do you mean? Like, there's another plan if we won't let you pass."
Is he kissing on her this time?
He
Touching
sure
on
is.
her? Okay.
He sure is. Yeah.
Okay.
He's doing more than that. Barbara just doesn't want to say it.
Incorrect.
No, he's just feeling on her, and
doing
she's
that.
like, "So, like,
what do you mean? There's another plan?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm not the
mean?
one you have to worry about," because she's doing like, "I'm so worried that there will be a conflict, and you will not be able to dump him out with me."
Yeah, like, what if you go and you have to die?
No. Ooh. And he's like, "I'm not the one you should worry about," and she's like, "Oh fuck, there's a plan B."
The White Walkers.
Yes, the White Walkers.
They're coming.
Inconceivable.
Winter's coming.
Inconceivable. Andre the Giant. Boom. 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 I've got all my fantasy things together. Princess Bride, Game of Thrones, Aladdin. Didn't say it earlier, but I initially pictured the kingdom as Polly Pocket. Don't know why, but sure.
Again, love where your head takes us.
Polly Pocket.
So Jaghar, of course, comes across because he's got his eye on her the whole party, and that's actually what mononucleosis is like. Oh, don't look now, but Jaghar is watching you, and that's kind of why Mono is like, I'm going to take her out into the gardens, because he notices that Jaghar is watching real good, and so he takes her in the gardens. She's dumping him out, and then Jaghar sees, and he's like, "Get the fuck away from her! Get out! Go away!" And Mono like says something like mean and like threatening to him, and then just like walks away like smirking. And she picks up on the fact that they clearly have history and is not very good, and she's like, I didn't know that, this wasn't my plan, and just for the record, I won't like try to get close to him for information because you clearly have like bad vibes. And he's like, oh cool, like I appreciate that. So then he's thinking about this, and he's like,
just sitting there dumped out too?
Yeah, he ties her back up. Situated her as you wish.
I'm picturing Bridgerton in the garden.
Have y'all watched?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
But I just know in the first season they hold hands in the garden, I think. Or maybe he eats her out, probably. I don't know.
Ooh.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. I was talking to my friend Dina about that, about like, do I need to actually watch that show? And she said like, yes, but no, but yes.
I think it's one that you just have on.
It's good. Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's not like...
I hear good things.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like...
I don't want to sound too Gen Z, although I am wearing crew socks today.
Look at us.
Look at us go. I have a really hard time watching coworkers pretend to have sex because I just keep thinking about how they're coworkers, and I'm like, that must be so awkward.
Wait, what?
But they're dating in real life, supposedly.
Who?
The main characters.
In Bridgerton?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like
they're
watching
together?
actors have sex?
That's what they're saying.
Yes. Yeah, I just keep thinking about how there are coworkers and there's at least 7 other people in the room, like zooming in on like your thigh and like other things, and I'm just like, oh my god. Like, do the coworkers not want to be kissing each other, or does one of them want to be, or like both of it? Like, there's
when it's
no
really
scenario,
passionate, like believable. You pull
there's
out. For a
no
minute,
scenario where I'm not just picturing like, no
a crew.
I don't know. I can't do it.
There's not a ton of sex in the show though.
In the first season, he's eating her out every staircase they get on.
Yeah, I guess.
Like every time Jeff walked in the room, he's like, "What are you watching?" I was like, "I swear, there's other parts where they're just holding hands."
So anyways,
back to he's upset in the garden.
He's upset in the garden, and then he realizes she's not as dumb as I thought. Oh my god, she understands political intrigue. Cool, she has answers. That's so funny because I happen to run a ring of prostitutes who are secretly spies. She should help out.
Yeah. Because
she's clearly going to be doing this kind of stuff anyway. So it would be better if I should get the information and I can keep an eye on her if she's telling me what she's doing. So this all makes sense. Hey, kid, do you want to be a prostitute? And she's like, can I think about it? And he's like, sure. Here's this mask that you would wear. Let me know. And then like 5 or 6 days go by and he's starting to realize like, every time I get super horned up, I am picturing her accidentally. Oh, shit. And
he jerks it.
He sure does. And he also participates as a prostitute.
How old is he?
Dad's age.
Age.
But this is like,
but like a little younger.
Medieval times.
Medieval times, yeah. She makes a reference to how...
he's probably like
so there's
30.
like an age gap.
Yeah, she makes a reference to how like she's 19. She's practically a spinster at the Coast Kingdom where she was just visiting. So
it's Jordan and Pike.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like it.
They're out in the pool.
Ooh.
Anyway, birthday girl.
river.
Check it out. So days go by and he's like, where is she? Like, I want her to do this, but I don't want to do this, but I do. And then she just is in his bedroom one night and he's like, whoa. And she's in like a little like night.
She comes into his chambers.
Ooh, yeah, she does. And she's wearing the mask and he's like, so is this a yes? And she's like, well, the thing is, I am a virgin and I don't really care about it, but I don't want to have sex for the first time with somebody that like may or may not be an enemy of the kingdom. So help me out. And he's like, if you say so. And then he like kind of resists, but she's like, that's an order. And he's like, okay, princess.
I love it.
So he goes down on her and then she's like, I've heard it will hurt. And he says, I would rather die than hurt you.
Oh my God.
Oh, she's out.
I'm inking.
Out in a way that she's
Inking
dead.
and slithering away.
It's a movie on in the background that you don't like all of the movie, but you do like parts of the movie, and you're like, I see why people do enjoy this movie, but I wish it had been done differently in certain ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like it, because I get the gist of it and the good part.
gist
You're really
of
getting
it.
the
And the jizz of it. Okay, I love it. So so she's all about it. He goes
She's
down on her and she's like,
into
"Whoa."
it. She's like, wow, love it. That's page 98. She comes. He's very effective.
But there's no fucking, it's just going down
They
on
have
her.
sex, and it doesn't hurt her.
Of course. 'cause
He has to
never hurt
prepare her. He would rather die.
He tented her.
Yeah.
He pitched her tent.
Yeah, he did.
Is that what we're going to read?
No.
Oh my God, I love it. So nice.
So they do that, and then she goes and has her first night with somebody.
Did she
And-
fuck him?
Yes.
Mm.
And this isn't like, oh, and then circumstances, and she wasn't a prostitute. She has clients. She goes for it. He tells her, I don't
Sex
need.
work is real work.
Yes. She
Hard work.
she isn't needed like full time, but he's like, if we are, in a pinch and we don't have anybody, we'll call you. And also if there are
She's a
specific
floater.
yeah. Yeah, she's on call.
She's on call. She's like, fuck, I got to bring my mask. Okay, got to go. Sorry, guys, I got to leave the barbecue.
Keep
Bye.
your mask in your bag, bitch.
She just undoes her corset. Bye.
Yeah, just
You gotta
dumps.
go to work.
Yeah.
Dad, I'll see you later.
Somebody's sick.
But yeah, if there are like specific clients that are like, she would be good for this because we're trying to get answers, and
These
like we'll
clients
send her
don't
in.
know that she's a princess, though.
They have no idea.
Okay.
They are told that if they take any of their masks off, like we will kill you. So
She's got
don't
a dagger.
do it. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So her first client is a guy who specifically wanted a virgin, and like, how dumb are you to request a prostitute who's a virgin? Okay.
Right.
But she's young and she's inexperienced, so they're like, this is the perfect fit. And also, he's not like freaky with like whips and chains as one of the other
He's not
guys
gonna hurt
tonight.
her.
Exactly. So he's gonna be like a huge letdown in the bedroom, but he's not gonna be like a lot for your first time. So let's do this. And then he goes and gets her at like midnight, and she's got a little mask on, and they go through the secret passageways that are all throughout the castle.
Just clicking down the heels
Uh-huh.
or down the hallways with the little like fire.
Yeah, she's working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And
Tumble out of bed.
overnight.
5 to 9.
And then he takes her to the room, and she's like, oh, okay, like, I'm a little nervous. And he's like, oh, like, yeah, he's not going to be like aggressive. Like, he's just going to go for it. You're not going to be very satisfied. So that might actually be the most that would be like painful. And he's like, you know what? Actually, I don't want to send you in there unprepared and have like a rough time of it. So lift those skirts up.
Is
And
he
then
finger banger?
he goes down on her in the hallway.
This is Bridgerton. They're just
Wow.
going down on each other.
Bridgerton, they just let me go down on you so you can have an
just-
easier time as a prostitute.
Probably.
I gotta watch the show.
So she's like, did she come again?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I guess I'll go and get banged by this guy now.
Yeah, and then he doesn't do any foreplay. He's like pretty useless. He's pretty small, and she's like, well, it definitely didn't hurt, but I definitely needed the help from Jaghar, and she goes for it. And then he makes some reference to some sort of like clue that she's like, oh shit, he might know more than he thinks he does. It would be helpful if I had a second night with him. And so she talks to Jaghar, and
The virgin request?
yes, he wants another night with her.
He's like, I liked her. I want her again.
Yeah. And she does the whole like, I will be so worried if you, what do you mean? What's going on? She says the same exact thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, I've got him right where I want him. And she sends a note to Jaghar, and she's like, come and talk to me as soon as possible. And he comes, and she's in the bath, and she's like, I didn't think you would come this quick. Huh? And then naturally she's like uncomfortable, even though they've had sex, because she's naked and in the bath. And she goes,
Vulnerable.
I'm not going to be the only one naked here. Climb on in. And so he gets in the bath.
All
with
the
her.
water displacement just kind of flows out.
It's one of those like olden times,
Basin.
like it's like a pool.
Okay.
So he's like 10 feet away from her for a little while, and that's the scene we're gonna read.
Oh, of them in the tub?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love it.
Let me.
Emily's not a fan of doing it in water, though.
It never works out.
I don't want to be vulgar, but neither am I. That wasn't vulgar. I made it weird.
I think it's like when that's. Yeah, it's just it's always very like, let's not do this.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you not? There you go. Any questions?
No, I mean obviously they like each other.
Yeah, he's having a really hard time like not being with her. He thinks about her a lot.
Look me in the eyes, she muttered, and tell me you don't want me to make you. That is an order, Spymaster.
Because he's trying to resist at first, like, no, I shouldn't. And she's like, tell me you don't want this, essentially. Okay.
Seeing his name spelled out really is like...
It's Jaghar. What's the bad guy in Aladdin?
Jafar.
That's why I can... Okay.
This could be Jafar. Like if it was a PH, because it's that's why it's like a little bit like Jaghar.
You can picture Jafar if you want. Okay.
Do they say like what country they're in or anything?
The Peaks.
The Peaks, okay.
It's just outside of New York.
Jaghar inhaled slowly, bracing himself and looking up. Her face was close enough to kiss her. If kissing her wouldn't violate every last limit between them, so they haven't kissed yet?
I don't think they did kiss. The first thing he kissed was...
Vagina.
Vagina.
She was sitting on her knees, hungry and gorgeous, hanging over his dick. Every inch of him ached from her excruciating absence. I don't. Her hand slid down his side. She left a burning trace behind on his skin, crossing his rib cage, his abdomen, his hips. I don't. Her finger wandered to his groin, touching the base of his shaft, and Jaghar broke. Lurching forward, he grabbed her around the waist and turned her around as he shoved her upper body over the rim of the bath, onto the smooth black tiles. Her cry hardly reached his ears through the burning haze of lust. Lying over the edge of the basin, her ass rose from the water's surface into flawless marble mounds. He pushed the cheeks apart and stroked the pink crack.
Barbara's got her gorilla blockers on.
I put sunglasses on.
You're like, I can't.
Emily, keep reading.
You knew that the pink crack was...
Keep reading.
The pink crack?
In between her butt cheeks. A dizzying wetness between her legs. A moan rose from her lips as he slipped a finger into her.
Finger bang.
Finger bang. I hope you won't regret that, Velvet, he growled.
So he calls her Velvet.
Yeah.
Why?
You were right. You
About her puss?
fucking guessed it. He thinks that it feels like velvet, so the whole time he calls her Velvet.
Yes.
And one of the one stars that I didn't include was like, why the fuck is book 2 called Leather? I don't want to know.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay, Velvet, he growled, leaning over her as he guided himself between her legs. Because, I think they're British. Because you bloody well get what you asked for.
No.
No.
She lay under him with her right cheek against the stone floor, her eyes closed, her breath heavy. He slid into her velvet wetness and couldn't suppress a groan. She felt even better in his memories, and that was only the part of her he already knew. He stretched over her as he thrust into her a second time, grabbed the nearest bottle from the bathroom, some oil, smelling of lavender because she stinks. As he pulled out, he poured a little between her ass cheeks, leaving a slippery trace on her skin. That is not good for her pH. That lavender, first of all, I'm a little allergic to lavender.
I do.
Like that would, could you imagine if someone poured lavender oil into you?
I drank that lavender drink that Jeff left when we went to LA and I got
Jeff tried to kill you?
Well, he bought it for him, but I drank it.
Jeff, how dare you tempt her with your drink?
Sick.
Oh my God.
And I know I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Butt cheeks.
Against her that narrow hole as well. Wait, to push the oiled fingertip against that narrower hole so it's against her butthole?
Yeah. Barbara's not.
As well,
she's out.
Until he slid in only the first inch. Is he doing her in the butt? Or did he just put his finger in her butt? Her wild primal groan nearly made him lose that last remainders of his mind. He could only burn at the way she tensed around him at every thrust, hear the sounds he drew from her, feel her shudder with every new inch his finger pierced through the tightest part of her. He's putting his finger in her butthole.
Who can say?
Is his dick inside of her at the same time?
Uh-huh.
He pulled back his finger and slipped his dick out of her in the same moment. I'll try to minimize the pain.
I forgot already.
He's a street rat. He said, rubbing an abundance of lavender oil over his shaft as he positioned himself behind her legs again. Then hesitating as he lay his tip against her, he added softer now, although you like the hurt, don't you, Velvet? From what you do. I hate it. From what you do, from you, I do, she whispered from beneath her dark locks, and a nearly painful stab of boiling venomous?
Venomous?
V-E-H-E.
Oh, I don't know how to say that either, but it's like you're really like earnest. Like you say it with a lot of like passion.
Ran through him. Feel me then. He felt how he spread her tight walls as he slowly filled her inch by inch, stretched her to impossible widths around the size of his arousal. Under his hands at her hip, she twisted and writhed, cried and cursed, but whenever he held still, she bit out a breathless, "Go on," and he needed to.
All right,
go on. And he needed no urging to obey her. She was so tight that it almost hurt to feel her. Never in his life had he wanted to come so badly. The first slow penetration took minutes, but it didn't allow her to gather her breath as he moved out. He pierced back into her a second time and a third time, faster with each new thrust. The delirium building up inside him. At the fourth thrust, it's just like 1, 2,
The fourth thrust.
3, 4.
That's all he
Thank
can
you for
do.
counting that out, Emma.
That way you like have like a feeling of the time, you know?
Great.
The
Great.
fourth thrust, he exploded, collapsing under her frail body as his seed filled her in aching pulses. The cold of the floor only reached his right mind seconds later when he came to his senses and found himself curled around her, holding her like a drowning man clutching to the last log of wood.
4 pump jump.
4 pump chump, 4 strokes.
Well, it's a new tight hole. What do you expect?
He's done this before.
But not with her. Not
He
with his
explains-
Princess Velvet.
Also, did we talk about putting it in the back?
No.
Nope.
I didn't know that it was.
Decided to let you learn live that that's what was happening.
No. But I'm saying, like, did him and her talk about
Yeah,
it?
that's why she's like, come and see me. First of all, I found some information. He
And I'm
might know
ready.
more. I'm going to see him again. But he mentioned another hole.
Oh.
So
I
what's
need
up with
you.
that? And he was like, so that is a thing. And she's like, have you done it? And he's like, well, there aren't too many options when you're with a man. And she's like, oh, you see men too. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, okay. So want to teach me? Want to show me?
So he's like, I will break it in for you.
Bring
Yeah.
the lavender oil.
So like, does she go to training school? Yes and no.
She does. She goes to sex school.
She does.
But
She's
he's
got a
her
private
teacher.
tutor.
Oh my
Jaghar.
God, is this our first anal?
I think
That's
so.
why
No.
I put my sunglasses on.
For the fans was all anal.
Oh, well, yeah.
But
I know. I remember they were like 69ing a lot.
Cisgender. But yeah, they fuck each other.
Yeah, they fuck.
But
Heterosexual.
Are heterosexual.
I guess we didn't read.
that.
We read
That's
69.
That's what I mean is I think we've read 69. I don't know that
we
read.
haven't read about buttholes
And we've
yet.
done like group. Obviously, there are already so many slots.
Oh, right.
But those were all in the
But
V.
this was so pointed. We're here to take your anal virginity. Hi,
and
Diane.
we're here to take your anal virginity on a podcast.
So I chose
you
this book
catch
for
yourself?
a number of reasons. I couldn't resist the fantasy. I couldn't resist the fact
The
that it
anal?
was
something new.
But literally, the whole premise of the book is she is a prostitute and a princess. I thought you would appreciate that.
I love
and
that.
And also, like, they do anal. Like, it's
Wow.
not like referenced. Like,
It's anal.
that's
Like,
what's
it's-
happening.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Did you like
Dang.
it? I can't really tell.
She was into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she finishes, but then afterward, she's like not moving, and he's like, "Oh my
'cause she's
god,
a log in the water. Yeah.
right? I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have." And she's like, "Don't ruin it, just hold me." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he like holds her in the water for a while, and they're like super in love.
And then she goes and gets banged in the butt.
Did she get banged by the bug by the guy?
Pretty sure she does. Not. Something happens with him. He might be the one who ends up dead. There's a lot of political intrigue, and then there's like more cast of characters. Like there's a woman who's blackmailing him, and then his like supervising manager of the prostitutes is really jealous because she's like in love with him, and he's like, you knew what this was. We had an arrangement like on the side, but you are not the one for me. I'm in love with the princess. So
I do her.
That's a whole problem. And then yeah.
Wow.
Interesting.
The king does die.
Oh. Does she kill him? Does Jaghar kill him?
He finds out that they did anal in the bath, and he jumps out a window.
No. Does he find out about Jaghar?
Does he find out about her being a prostitute?
Oh. Is it in the war? Does the war come?
Is this book 2 that we should read?
It's not
book
2. He's murdered. Very JFK.
Oh shit! With an arrow in a carriage.
He's on his horse. Anyway, it sets up other stuff.
Okay.
Do they end up together?
They can't be together because she has to get married in order to take the throne.
She
so
can't marry
even
him?
though he's just some
royal.
street rat.
What is this? Like street rat? Is it muskrat?
Head of the I don't know.
In Aladdin? I don't know.
We'll play it after this.
Yeah.
What if you guys come in on next and I have the playlist and it's all like Disney songs? How
long
would it be before somebody goes like, what the fuck, and turns it off?
Or they're all just singing along.
Yeah, everyone is just like, who is that girl?
You got to kiss that girl.
La, 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 la.
That's them in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but does she end up marrying anybody?
That's later in book. That's part of the plot because she's sent away. Yeah.
Okay.
She might be betrothed to somebody and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't.
So there's a lot for the reader to read, but you said this is more plot than porn. We're a little bit of mix.
No, it's 267 pages and we've already essentially set up everything of like, they're doing anal in a bathtub. Like it's not plot heavy, you know? Like there is a lot of plot, but it's pretty
sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sexual. What do the good people at Goodreads think?
They had some feelings. They had some thoughts and feelings.
Oh, God.
There aren't that many reviews. This is not a very popular series.
Okay.
Her other series, the Fae Isles one, is much more popular. So a lot of the reviews were like, I feel like it's a completely fucking different writer. And I'm like, I do see what you're saying.
Especially if they go backwards where you went forwards, where you're like, oh, she got better.
I read Fae Isles first. And because that series, when I read it, there was a 4th book that wasn't out yet. And I was like, I need more. And so I read others and I went, that didn't satisfy that craving.
What is it? It's velvet, leather.
And I forget what the other one.
I feel like silk.
Oh, maybe.
Could be a good one.
Oh, right down.
Sure.
Emily Hornberg.
Sure.
So what do they think?
All right. So Goodreads has it as a 3.5 and it was like 1,000 ratings.
Oh.
Amazon has it as a 4 and there's like 600 ratings.
Oh.
Hannah said her entire review is 1 sentence, it's 4 words, and there's an exclamation point at the end. Okay?
Okay.
Hannah gave it 1 star and said, I love the concept.
1 star and you loved it.
She doesn't know how to review.
Not for me.
Yeah. I love the idea of this. Yeah.
She sounds so happy. Maggie said,
fantasy correspondent Maggie.
Maggie, I don't think this is our Maggie, because Maggie said, I am baffled and disgusted by the premise of this novel. This is highly dysfunctional. She is a princess, for crying out loud. She has options that don't involve her needing to lower herself to this. I could understand it more if she was a penniless waif who had no options left, but a princess? First of all, anybody can be a sex worker if they want to be.
Princess can be prostitutes.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it if you yourself don't feel shame, so don't bring that energy in here, Maggie.
Yeah.
I don't think it's our Maggie.
You don't have to be broke to be...
Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably not broke if you're a prostitute.
Yeah, no.
She's also doing it for like spying.
For her dad.
Yeah, she's doing it for her kingdom.
For the safety of the
Her
kingdom.
country.
Yeah. And she, the whole time, she's never like, oh, I feel guilty. She's like, I am excited by this, like, adventure, danger. This is why I'm not like other girls, because other girls don't want to be prostitutes, and I do. Pam said, Pam. So this is the most unrealistic nonsense. A virgin prostitute. A virgin whore. Okay.
Well, she didn't start out.
A whore.
She
worked her way up to whore.
deflowered. Hello, Jaghar stretched out her butthole for her. He ate her out before she went in. He prepped
You have
her.
to practice.
I'm gonna put my sunglasses back on.
No, you're never allowed to wear those again.
Why do you think this is the only time I've worn them?
For the anal?
Because I couldn't give away that you were slowly starting to realize, is it a finger? Is it a mouth?
Wait, what?
I was asking Eric this morning, I was like, so this is the scene. He went, okay. And then I said, I'm debating, do I warn them or do I? And he was already going, no. And I was like, same page.
Of course he said no.
Find out live. Okay.
Butthole blindside.
Butthole blindside. Barbara's, never mind.
BBB?
Alicia.
I'm surprised it was Barbara.
I love it. She keeps us on our toes.
Alicia said the fact that this whole ass book is named after the way the woman's hoo-ha feels is just...
The fact that Emily knew.
And she said, look, if you like reading about sex and only sex, if a book's plot gets in the way of all the ball-slapping, virgin boinking, anal-having literary orgasms, this is the book for you.
Wow.
So plot versus porn. Alicia says it's all porn.
Wow.
One
Read that boinking sentence again?
I feel like I had a ball on it.
Yeah, like a sing-along.
If a book's plot gets in the way of all of the ball-slapping, virgin boinking, anal-having literary orgasms, then this is the book for you.
I love it.
I love that.
Ball slapping and boinking.
That's also like, if that can be a review for our podcast, the ball slapping, boinking. This is a podcast for you.
If you like a lock-in, that's true. Someone else in the reviews that I didn't include, they just went, for my clean readers, there's sex in this.
Oh my gosh. Like, Velvet sounds like a good name, but it's dirty.
There's sex in the Princess Prostitute book?
Clean readers.
Princess
Clean
Pickles?
readers.
Princess Pickles?
Princess Lettuce?
Prince Lettuce?
Anyway, what'd you think of your fantasy?
I like it. I feel like it was fantasy light.
I love a good what?
I love a good blindside. I love opening my world to new things. That's why I'm here for it. But I'm also
she
like,
loves tenting.
She's all about it.
I still be clutching, but I'm off. But I'm open to being clutched.
I like her other series. I don't know about this one. Anyway,
The Fae one. That's fairies.
Fae
right?
Isles, yeah.
Isles.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, what'd you think, Vanessa?
I liked it. I definitely, like I said, it gives me like vibes of like a lot of things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
was
thought
good.
it would be fun for the podcast.
yeah.
It's a perfect one for
Yeah.
us because it's
Yeah.
enough that it's not too in the weeds that like
Yeah.
I'm having to keep things straight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like my book yesterday for Patreon. Cool.
That's for our patrons.
Like
yeah.
Akatar's going to be, where I'm going to bring in my whiteboard. If you think I'm kidding, I'm going to bring in my whiteboard and
my
write it all
whiteboard.
out
I'm gonna
for you.
need my Barbie dolls to keep. Okay,
Yes.
so this is this person. Yeah, I'm excited for that. We'll get on that soon. Stay tuned. If you like that, tell your princess, tell your sex workers, tell
Your Spymaster.
tell
your
your
hookers.
clean readers that they can just listen to us. They don't have to read it.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
You can learn a little bit
Emily
without
will
having to
read it for you.
Yeah,
Or just watch Bridgerton, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like watch Bridgerton, Princess Bride, Frozen,
While
Game
you're
of
on your phone.
Thrones. Yeah, all of
Yeah.
that stuff, and just mix it in soup, and then take a bath. Like and subscribe. Join our Patreon, patreon.com/clutchmypearlspod. Clutch My Pearls Pod everywhere on the internet. If you want to send us an email, clutchmypearlspod@gmail.com. Like and subscribe. Leave a review. We love to read them all. Leave a comment. Leave it all. We love you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.